Now the next important thing is to install the Express. I will close this terminal and open the new terminal. Okay, you can open the new terminal from here as well by clicking on this add button. Okay, just like this. And now let's install the Express. So in order to install the Express, you have to type the command npm space I stands for install, and then Express, EXPRESS, Express. Press enter. It is now installing the Express and it done successfully. If you go to the package.json, then here you will find out a new property is added by the name dependencies Express with its current version. Now go back to the index.json, which is our entry point. Now how we can import the Express module? It is simple. All you need to do is you have to just type const, and we will give it name as Express. Const Express equals require inside the double quotes you have to type Express. So this is how we import the Express module. After it, we define the port, on which port it will be listening. So we can say port underscore, I will give it name as port underscore number, and let's say the port number is 5000. So this is basically how we define the port number. The server will listen. Then we create an instance of the Express application by the name application, and to this we assign the Express. Okay, this is how we create instance of the Express application. It is going to give us the starting point. Using this application, we are going to start the server. That is, next step is start the server, that is keep listening to our port number. I will simply increase the size of the code, that is the font size, so you can see it more easily. So port underscore number, comma, parenthesis, the arrow operator, curly braces, make sure to add the semicolon at the end, and then in here you can say console.log, and we will say that on which port our server is running. So we can say server start running on port number, for example the port number we will display for the testing purpose. So port underscore number, make sure to add a semicolon at the end. So using this line of code, it basically start the server and listen on the specified port. For example, our specified port is 5000. There are different ports. For example, you can run it on the port number, let's say 4000. Okay, so let's save all. Okay, and then let's open up the terminal and run the node index.js command. So you can see that server start running on port number 4000. Now the next important thing is to learn how to create your API endpoint. For example, your first endpoint. For example, here I can simply say application.get, and I will explain all this in a while. First, let's complete this, and it will be by the name, let's say test first endpoint, or you can just say test endpoint. Okay, as this is our first endpoint, let's say for testing purposes we are creating it. can say request comma response. So we can say response dot send and the response will be, this is test hello world again. Make sure to save all. Get is used to request data from a specified resource. For example, here we specified our URL, API URL. For example, using this URL, I will send a request to our server because I want something from the server as a response. And as a response, the server will return me this message, which is, this is test hello world again. So this is our router, or you can say our API URL, using which we will send the request. Now the request we send from the client. For example, our client is, let's say, this app, okay, and I want to sign up. So from the sign up page, I will fill out this form, name, email, password, and I will click on create account. So for the sign up, we will create endpoint by the name, let's say, for example, sign up endpoint, or you can say this is our API URL, or you can say our router. So from the client, when we send the request, after when we click on this create account, we will send request. So when the request is sent using this endpoint, we will send the request, okay? So when the request is sent, we expect a response from the server. So for example, the server will send us a response, let's say account created successfully, and let's say hello world, okay, just for testing purposes. So we send request from the client using this endpoint, and then as a response from the server, we receive this message, account created hello world. Now how? We will test it in the browser. For example, so close the terminal, okay, by clicking on this delete icon. It will kill the terminal, and first of all, make sure that you save all, and then after saving all, open up a new terminal and start the server once again. So the server start running on the port 4000, which you can see here. Then open up your browser, and then using localhost colon your port number and then your endpoint, using which you will send the request. For example, from the client, when the user click on the create account, we will send the request using this endpoint, or you can say using this API URL. So for example, copy this, and in the browser, after your port number, you can paste it like this. Remember, localhost, LOCALHOST colon your port number and then your endpoint, and then press enter. So you see, when we send the request, we receive this response, which is account created hello world, which you see here, okay. This was the response.